Hey guys, it's Patrick. I'm on the big crazy computer right now, so I'm all stretched out. But I wanted to do a video update to talk about some life updates. I, um, I guess a few things are on my mind. One is that this past week, on Wednesday after work, Claire and I went to go see my sister, my brother-in-law, my niece, and my nephew. Um, and I'm not very close with my family, a lot of my family, and so um, there's sort of that to contend with when, in terms of my coming out process, my transness, and connecting with folks around that. Um, there's not animosity necessarily, but it's just my family is not one that is big on communication, most of us anyway. And so I was able to send, this like really thoughtful letter to both my sister and my brother-in-law, but in terms of the kiddos, it's difficult. When I was over there months ago, I think my brother-in-law had talked to my niece and nephew and just kind of gave them the like trans 101 situation. Um, and I was over there and I was meeting with my niece who is 10 now. And I was like, so, have your parents talked to you? And she was like, yep. And I was like, okay, well, do you have any questions? And she was like, yeah, I know. My dad told me that, he used to have a friend who was a boy and wanted to be a girl and so became a girl. And I was like, oh, well, do you have any questions about that? And she was like, nope. And like quickly changed the subject. So I was like, all right. But when I was over there this past weekend, incidentally, I had a couple of glasses of wine at dinner and had a really good conversation with my sister about some things that I'm really glad we were able to talk about. And then I'm down, kind of a little bit tipsy, playing Wii with my niece and my nephew, and Claire's upstairs, talking with the adults. And and I was like, all right, guys, I'll play this baseball. Well, really, my nephew. I was like, all right, I'll play this baseball game with you. But first, before I do anything, we have to make me a wee me, right? A little wee caricature of myself. And my niece was helping make it. And it was interesting because we were sort of having this trans conversation without actually having the conversation. Because the first step in making your wee me is to select your gender, male or female. And my niece selected male, and I said something like thanks, and she kind of gave her a little smirk, and you try on funny things and funny hair and funny facial features, and so one of the things she did was try on makeup and like laugh about it. They both kind of laughed about it, and I was like, hey guys, I don't want any makeup, and we were able to kind of enact this like gender performative thing, but also I was able to kind of tell this message to them, and it was pretty cool. So that's cool. What else? My mom sent me a card recently addressed to Patrick. That was cool. Things at in terms of the name Patrick, I'm so happy that I chose it. I'm so happy that I did that. It was one of those big things in life that like I'm so glad I did. That I very easily could have not done. Patrick is a lot more of a common name than Luca, and so I hear it a lot more often. And maybe even just because it's a big deal for me right now. But whenever I hear it, I'm just so happy that I chose it, and it feels good for me, and it feels like a name I really like. And yeah, my mom recently sent me a card addressed to Patrick, which is just kind of a big deal. And I guess I'm about to reach my 15-month on T mark, and I upped my dose about 4 months ago, and it almost felt like I actually started T around that time, and I'm worried actually that you know, I'm going to get my blood work done this week, and my levels are going to be way too high, and I'm going to have to, you know, like, go down again. Some things I've been noticing lately are some facial hair grow in. I just shaved, so, but I actually, it's prickly already, and I shaved yesterday, but, you know, first it's like blonde here and here and in here, but no, it's like blonde here, but also a few like dark hairs here, and blonde right here, but dark hairs coming in really quite a lot right in here, and like a patch right here, and a couple right here. So, but like that was even double the amount of like last month. So I'm just like looking forward to seeing how that progresses. Um, so, and it's hard with endocrinologists because, you know, I feel like they're not living the trans experience. They don't have that investment. Like, they don't really get how important it is. A lot of endocrinologists are just looking at your T number, your T level number, and not necessarily working with you around, like, trying to get yourself to pass as, like, you know, in FDM cases, like, as a guy in society. It's just like looking at numbers, and I understand the importance of that, but at the same time, it's so much more than that. And I wish that there were a lot more like trans-friendly endocrinologist providers out there. You know, and with things like psychiatrists, it's kind of like a guessing game. Like, there's just not a lot of resources out there. I'm glad that I ended up going into the healthcare profession and, you know, work as a social worker therapist, because I feel like innately that's what I'm able to do in terms of healthcare. Um, but it just, yeah, I don't know if I should start looking for another endocrinologist, if I should keep waiting it out. I mean, a year in, you know, 3 months on T, and still, you know, being where I'm at is still pretty daunting. You know, I'm excited about the changes I've been seeing lately, but at the same time, I'm you know, still waiting. So, I just wanted to do a little bit of a life update, and let you guys know what's been on my brains lately, and that's it for now.